In January, Northwestern University announced that it would incur a budget deficit in 2018, meaning expenses will outpace revenue for that year. University President Morton Shapiro said Northwestern will need to be more strategic with investments to get expenses realigned with revenues. So what will this mean for Northwestern? First, let's get our facts straight. This deficit could grow to be anywhere between $50 million and $100 million. Northwestern's operating budget is $2 billion, so even at its largest projections, the deficit would only equal about 5% of the operating budget. According to university officials, there is no one single cause for the deficit. Rather, it was the fact that several large investments took place in a short period of time, which would usually be spread out over a long period of time. Additional expenses in the form of maintenance and utilities costs for new buildings on campus, the hiring of high-profile faculty, and fundraising campaigns all coincided to swing expenses out of proportion with revenues. University officials say this is not something that we really need to worry about. Provost John Holloway called the deficit more of an annoyance rather than a crisis, and President Shapiro recently reaffirmed the strength of Northwestern's finances. He pointed to Northwestern's endowment of $10 billion, which is one of the 20 largest in the country, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. Northwestern's $2 billion operating budget is just 5% of that endowment, which Shapiro says is conservative compared to other universities. On the subject of the deficit, Shapiro had this to say. That said, the deficit is still a challenge that needs to be addressed. A new resource planning process was introduced to manage revenue and expense plans within the fiscal year, and processes for approval of facilities and other major investments will be refined as well. The filling of currently vacant or new staff positions may also be delayed. The deficit raises questions about how the university is choosing to spend its money, especially when high-profile projects like the $270 million Ryan Fieldhouse and Walter Athletic Centers are making headlines. But overall, Northwestern has a long history of achieving a budget surplus each year, and a deficit every so often is not an anomaly, according to Provost Holloway, who has experienced similar situations at Yale where he worked previously. Something like a large cash donation could serve as an immediate fix to the problem, and the development of new budget tactics will help as well. University leadership has stressed that the university will not sacrifice its academic mission in order to pinch pennies unnecessarily.